This video is titled The Adult Industry, What I Wish I Knew Beforehand. Let's check it out.
Do not get into adult work until you watch this video. I know times are tough, depending on who you ask. However, that does not mean you make a decision that's irreversible based off temporary moments. Let's get into it. But before we do, give me a thumbs up. It's free to do. It helps me reach more people and it motivates me to make more videos like this. So did you do that? All right, let's go.
Okay, so this seems like I regret, doing adult content video. I don't know. That's where it looks like it's headed. One of my subscribers sent this to me. Let's check it out.
So we're live streaming anyways, and somebody in the comments was like, what made you get into adult work? I should get into it, huh? No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Long story short, I was going through divorce, and at first somebody offered to help me get into the industry, another girl, and I wasn't ready. I actually looked down on dancers and adult workers because I was like, yeah, you don't love yourself. No one's ever gonna wanna date you. I, back in the day, was super Christian and therefore I was like super red pill. But don't worry, I've been delivered and deconstructed. I just never thought I would even be in the same room as any woman who would do that. Nonetheless, turn into that woman, but I did. So the first time around, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Who would wanna date me? I'm a woman of class. The second time around, when things are getting tight, the budget getting strict, you working 6 days a week and you still don't have enough money left over to pay all your bills at the end of the month. How is that possible, America? Then you realize, okay, I might have to give up my dignity and my morals for a place to sleep.
Mercy, it's hard out here.
I might have to. Then I audition at these places, and the first place they told me no. That was a heart attack because imagine everybody says, oh, I'm gonna quit my job and be a stripper. And they don't even hire you at the strip club. Like, oh no, what am I gonna do now? What will I do? The second club hired me though. Thank goodness they were understaffed for Christmas Eve. But how do we get into lonely bands? Again, I had a friend tell me, oh, you'll make so much money off just referrals. You don't have to do anything. I told her, no, I'm straight. But then I had another friend say the same things.
She said lonely bands. I think she's talking about, you know what, fans. Just to clear that up.
So I started doing referrals first, and just like twerk videos, the same services that you would get in a strip club is what I was trying to give virtually. So I would tell everybody, oh, I'm running a virtual gentleman's club. And back in the day, this was unheard of. 2 months short of my 4th year anniversary as a dancer is when I finally gave into lonely bands. And I got so much backlash from the other dancers, even from owners and managers of adult clubs. Were like, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself online for people to see for $10 a month? Like, you can make so much, you can make $1,000 a night here. And I'm like, yeah, but if I don't have a BBL, if I don't have a big butt, if I'm not willing to do everything that these girls are doing, I'm a baddie, I really am. But I also know where I rank.
Adult content for 4 years. A 4-year degree in stripping is crazy.
Rule of life. Don't even try to compete if you're not the most passionate person. If you're doing something just to get by, you are competing against people who go hard for this. I can't. If I'm not passionate about something, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna compete. I'm not gonna even try because in the back of my mind is gonna be somebody who wants this more than me. There's girls that they do or die and you're just not. You want to go home at 2 a.m. You ready really to get in the bed by midnight. Okay, and nothing good happens before midnight in these clubs. So there's a big disconnect in, do I belong here? Finally, I get into the lonely band situation. Lucky for me, after almost 4 years, I was able to get a work from home version of this job because it was driving me nuts to have to do substances, drink, drive, deal with people under substances. It's a bit much. It can become a lot. So the work from home version is way better. I got into running my virtual gentleman's club, even though I didn't receive like raving reviews from people who didn't understand the process of lonely bands yet and just online experiences. I was making money. But let's roll it back a little bit more, because this whole entire conversation started with, should one of my TikTok live audience members get into adult work? I am not in the business of encouraging adult work to anybody who is not already in it. Most people make irreversible decisions based off temporary circumstances. So if you're having a hard time paying your rent this month, you don't want to change your whole entire life just to pay your rent for this month.
What a crazy generation we live in, where chicks, I mean, take men out of this, because there's no way. There's no way. No one wants to see you, unless if you know you're gay or something like that. No one wants to see you taking your clothes off as a dude. But what a crazy time we live in, where a woman can sit there and go, if I show my feet, or if I take my clothes off and post it on a platform, I can make rent today. It used to be that the bar was a little bit higher than that, right? That you actually had to go and maybe sell your body. But now you can do it on platforms like OnlyFans. And that temptation is getting realer and realer with these chicks as they drop their standards and morals, because we know they don't drink coffee.
No, I'll have a tea, actually.
And this is one of the reasons why it took me so long to get in the adult industry, was I had to come to terms with myself and the fact that life is going to change if you go down this path. So that's what this entire video is about. Ladies, do not join the adult industry until you make it to the very end of this video, because you have no idea what you're in for. And even though you think, oh, I look good, that's so much, oh my God, so many of my friends, oh, I have a fat, I should do lonely bands. I look like this, I got nice boobs, I got a nice face, I look so nice, I would make so much money off of my body. Just because you have a nice body doesn't mean you know how to sell it. No matter how anybody breaks it down to you, it's a sales job. So if you hate sales, because I know a lot of people that's like, well, I hate sales, I don't want to be too salesy. Being an adult entertainer is the most salesy thing you can do.
You're selling your body. It makes sense.
And you're like personally attached to it, because it's your body, it's your mind, it's your heart, it's your time. So you need to be a very good salesperson, 1. 2, you need to be a good people person. If you hate people, this ain't gonna be for you. You have to be able to be a good disarmer, especially when people are under the influence. If you get people from all types of walks of life, I'm sure you get some crazy people that probably criminals coming into the club, coming into my virtual gentleman's club. I don't know they rap sheet. And that's why you have to be good with people, because you don't know, people be crazy. You can't just pop off because somebody said something degrading to you. You have to be able to go, so are we doing the dance or no?
I've seen this chick before. I think I've actually reacted to one of her videos.
I can come back. Would you like a drink? People will call you bad words. They will call you a slur. You need to be okay with that. You can't be fighting the system. I see so many adult entertainers that are unsettled with that. That's very triggering for them to be called derogatory words, or to be told, oh, nobody's gonna wanna be with you. And so they try to fight the system and like, prove I'm so smart, prove I'm worthy. No. The whole job is supposed to be a bimbification of you. I'll give you one piece of advice. If you do get into the adult industry, pick a stage name. My stage name used to be Lola, but because I had a YouTube channel before I ever started dancing, that didn't last long. People just started calling me by my normal legal name. Having a stage name is going to help.
That's crazy. So from now on going forward, following, because she says she was divorced, any man who she dates and wants to have any type of a healthy long-term relationship has to know that her name is attached to adult content. That's wild.
You separate the character and the public persona from the actual person behind the character. So Nina versus Lola. Lola maybe is those derogatory terms because that's marketable, but Nina is not. But to the outside in the world, they only see the one person who is all encompassing, is the same person. So they're gonna call you, imagine, I don't have a stage name, so they're calling Nina derogatory terms. And you have to know that, hey,
like Nina is a 304.
Nina is still a character and she's still a public persona. And then there's the personal Nina that other people don't know. So when they're saying these bad things and these mean things to me, they're not saying that to the personal Nina. They don't know her. They're only saying it to this character that they think or believe Nina to be. So this requires a lot of emotional maturity.
Sounds like it requires multiple personalities.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I get the separation of brand thing, but come on, man. At this point, like when what you're doing is this polarizing and this damaging to your psyche as a woman, then if you can't be a literal 304 online and then just like clock out and go home and be like, okay, now I'm a regular person. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way with the way men view those type of women too, right? Most men.
To even get into this, because if you internalize it, if somebody calls you something and then you internalize it, or someone says, oh, you have father issues, and you internalize that, or if you actually do have father issues, you're gonna think your whole life is due to your father issues, when in reality, it's tons of people with father issues that are teachers, doctors, stay-at-home moms. There's no correlation to parental issues and adult work. Everyday regular people got mother and father wounds, but you have to be emotionally mature to understand that most people are not there. So this is a job that can change your mental. It could change the relationships around you. I do have guys that are like, oh, I would never date this type of person. But guess what? I would never date you. I don't want to be with somebody who wouldn't see me for me and understand that level of maturity.
So according to Nina Does the Most, maturity is being able to look past the fact that she's accumulated probably a lot of traumatic experiences by being an adult entertainer. Guys, she's saying this, not me, right? She's talking about, I've dealt with most likely criminals or all types of whack jobs who've come in and dealt with me. And on top of that, she's got a almost 4-year degree in stripping, and also it sounds like maybe OnlyFans. I think it's very wild to sit there and say men who can't separate the bodies I've accumulated my whole life. This is now we're moving over into most modern women today are somehow immature. Nah, stop it. These are the consequences of your decisions. I think it's good she's not encouraging chicks to do this, though. I think that's good.
But you gotta understand, it's gonna be people that don't want to date you. You gotta understand, this is gonna change your life forever. Actually, I have a question for you. If you've made it to this part of the video thus far, I wanna know, would you date an adult model, an adult entertainer of any type?
Comment down below.
Yes or no, and why?
You know what? Let's check out a few of these comments. Let's see. And of course, we're looking for the guys. Top comment says, it takes an open-minded individual to understand the knowledge you just dropped. A lot of people only look at things one way and will always disagree. So most people, right? Next comment here by a dude says, I would not date an adult model or entertainer. No. I mean, she asked. This dude says, this was some good information. I think a good salesman comes with any business. Thanks for sharing. Let me see. Do we have any more comments from the dudes? This person says, not sure how I got here, but very insightful and well put. Here's another person who says, you're a great saleswoman. I want to know how many women bought that course or click that link after the video. Excellent. Not only did you learn about men, you learned about women, the biggest consumers. Great work. The fact that you did that without a script is impressive. So did she's selling a course? Is she selling an introduction to adult entertainment course? I don't know. I'm just wondering. Stay in your daughter's lives. TikTok is the online space is a very dangerous place. You know, lots of knowledge to do the right thing to better your life and also to ruin it.
Part 2. Adult work is a charity job for humanity. It can be known as philanthropy. So in part 1, we discussed that your life is going to change. Some good, some bad. Obviously, you're going to have money if you do it right. But imagine you're a terrible entertainer. You're a terrible model. And so you make an irreversible decision. You can't take it back. And now your little intimate tape all over the internet, and people they didn't buy it. You didn't make money. Your financial status, socioeconomic status didn't change. But now you got this out there. See what I mean? Don't even try to compete unless you're actually passionate about it, because you will regret it. So moving into chapter 2, let's say you're good at this. You're good at being an adult entertainer, and now you start to see things that you didn't see before as a regular person in society. Over the course of 10 years or so, I have spoken with probably more or less about 500,000 men to gather data on what men like, how they think. I mean, I know everything about what they like down to what women wear,
500,000 men is crazy.
how they smell. Data collected that you would never get if you were just a regular person. You can't ask. I asked 20,000 people on my Lonely Bands yesterday or a couple days ago what their favorite smell was on a woman. You can't get that data anywhere else.
So she's still doing only bands, it sounds like.
But also when you know too much, you already know what happens when you guys know too much. We all know what happens when you know too much. It's not the same anymore. If you know too much about science, you no longer believe in religion. And who the hell, what is it? Hold on. Yes, it's a little loud. I'm filming right now.
That's her new man there in the back.
I'm filming. Oh, estoy grabando. Muchísimas gracias. Once you learn about the real needs of men, because a lot of times, especially when there's substances involved, men will open up to you. They will become vulnerable. They'll tell you their deepest fears, fantasies, what they want out of life. Once you are learning these men, it's like studying a specimen. I've studied specimens so much to where I know how to make the earth a better place for men.
Do you think that P-stars are out here making the world a better place for men? I mean, they're definitely serving an industry, but I don't like the idea that adult content is philanthropy, like the way she's trying to make it sound. She's really reframed her whole situation as someone who's really helping men out. In the end, I think it does way more harm than good. No one has left an adult video, and we've all watched adult videos. You can sit there and act like, oh, I've never watched. We've all been there. No man leaves there thinking to themselves, wow, I'm so proud of myself for watching this. No one. And if you struggle with it, your goal should be to cut it off. It's not healthy for you. It does not help. It mostly sedates you, keeps you from actually going out and pursuing women. For most men who are these chicks' customers, they think they're doing them a favor, but really there's a lot of harm involved. I know she doesn't want to hear that because that would mean that what she's doing is wrong, but that's my opinion. I believe that's the truth. Let me know what you guys think down below.
So it becomes like a anthropology charity project to even clock in to work. How can I make these men feel better than when they logged on the computer? You learn
Give them some coochie for free.
that when you have that mindset, you actually make more money and then you establish better relationships with your clients and customers rather than just, oh, I need to run these, I need to break these men. You know, they be like, oh, I'll be trying to break these men. The women who say stuff like that, they're in survival mode. The women who've been doing this for a while and they are studying their craft, they're the ones like, my people are happy and I don't walk away until everybody's happy because I value their money. I value their hard work. At the end of the day, business is business and this is sales. I need good references. I need you to bring your homeboys, bring your actually in a better dating pool. People
Hold on.
make and if you get into it,
I'm trying to see if she actually sells a course.
crazy. You guys let me know in the comments if you want more talks like this. Stances, if you ever be in the same room as those girls. Pool got way better after I entered the adult industry. Way more affluent men. That is more of a trophy to them than politicians. All sorts of people in power who have had to make and write their own rules. They want to be with you because they understand the mindset of having to sell yourself. Especially entertainers, other entertainers understand what that feels like. Overall, my dating pool got way better after I entered the adult industry. Way more affluent men. That is more of a trophy to them than like a regular girl who doesn't do her makeup, who's like a kindergarten teacher. No offense to the girlies who are kindergarten teachers who don't do their makeup. But that is typically the type of woman that the middle class guys that care about their family approval, they want to take that home.
So they're not attracted to the teachers. They want the adult content creator. I see that. I mean, there's definitely a temptation for that. But listen, here's the thing. I hear her talking. But I've seen this chick before on other videos literally complaining about her dating situation and how terrible it is. Here, I could probably go to her TikTok right now. Right? She was like complaining about how terrible it is to date. Let's see. Maybe we could find something over here. This is her TikTok. I think I reacted to one of her videos, but she was complaining about how hard it is and men not approaching her. Let me see.
Hear ye, hear ye. You have now arrived to an official TikTok funeral. Here lies, rest in peace, to my 4-day romance that ended in a sharp ghosting session before I even got a second date. So sad, because I had nothing but raving reviews for this man. Unfortunately, he has shown me how much of a he is, because how are you gonna have me to a double standard, ask me on our first date when was the last time I was sexually active, when was the last date I went on, and when if I ever got paid in exchange for, you ask me questions that were insulting as but
So it's insulting, but this is what she does for work. Guys, I clicked on a random video from like 2024. The dudes who she's trying to date are asking her if she's ever gotten paid for getting her cheeks clapped. And she says that was insulting.
you couldn't pass any of the questions when I passed them back to you. I said, oh, what about you? When's the last time you went on a date? This say yesterday. My answer was 2 months ago. Your answer was yesterday. Not even 24 hours. You was on a date 12 hours ago. So it's stuff like that. And then on top of that, you're going to try to ask me, oh, well, long story short, ask me about my babe. You the one with the kid. You the one that was starting and bopping, having lunch.
So she said that she was mad. He asked her about what she did for work, if she sold her body. Now she's talking about how he's the one with the kids, so he's been sexually active.
Of children around the city. I don't like it. I don't like people interviewing me to make sure I'm like pure enough or chaste enough for them. Meanwhile, you slinging the slong everywhere. So much so, in fact, that I tried to entertain conversation with you 3 days ago, and you ignored me twice when I tried to entertain conversation. But you didn't ignore the fact that you accidentally FaceTimed me at 3 a.m. Why were you in your FaceTime call logs at 3 a.m.? Why are you even awake at 3 a.m.? But nonetheless.
This is what you have to look forward to all the chicks who watched that video and thought, okay, I'm going to give it a try. She is still out here following her divorce, going into stripping and adult content, and is struggling to find a man. Are we surprised? Are we surprised? No, we're not. No, we're not. The proof is right in front of you. This right here is the result of that lifestyle. And this is in 2024. I mean, she's still probably been complaining about dating and struggling. Here, dating update.
We have an official dating update. I said I wasn't going to do any of them again, but this one is deaded, so it's okay to share. Y'all.
Still struggling. Let's see. Yeah. Don't believe what you see online, man. It isn't as it usually appears.